Alright, guys, give me a few more minutes because I'm just trying to get everything else to set up. Alright? And I'll be switching my scene in the next few minutes. Okay, guys. I am now fully ready to go. I'm just, trying to make sure that I'm trying to be strong here. Okay. In the next few seconds, put up my I will put up my camera. In a bit, I just need to check on somebody right now as we speak. That would be very important as we speak. Okay. Also, welcome to the live stream, Presley. We have some major news coming out from what has been happening, which I might talk about very soon. All right, but I'll be checking on somebody real quick, and then I will start pulling up my camera and get everything else situated. So in the next few seconds, once I'm done with that, we'll be ready. Okay, here we go. So I've talked to one of my friends, uh, Philip, and to be exact, he's doing all right as we speak. If you guys want to know, and uh, how would I say this? I finally gave him the old PC. Finally, I wanted to basically have a round of applause on that. Finally, and as we speak, he has a old desk that he's about to have the PC to be whatchamacallit, to be set up as we speak. But I don't want him to like fully set up the PC just yet. All right, and here's my camera. Here's with me with the new shirt on the live stream for the very first time. Uh, yeah. So this is not what I was planning on to do. Okay, this was originally supposed to have the latest episode of Gaming Revelations to come out, and it's very late, by the way. Sorry for the long wait. Uh, for the video to be in the process of being made. Um, because it happened way earlier during the same day as we speak. Just want to make sure everything's all good to go. I think I'm not too sure. Okay, never mind. We're good. I'm just checking to see the KP the KBPS. I've been checking out that for a little bit. Also, let me try to put up. There we go. Okay. So now my alt is on. scene with the live stream. Okay. All right. Of course, out of any social media app that I just don't want to see with the chat now. Come on, man, Lone. I have see you just popped up too. So, yeah. So the reason why I'm making this live stream is because of what's happening on over in the Middle East. Yeah. I'm still processing on what just happened. So I'm just trying to kind of analyze every bit of detail of things that has happened. So I have like a lot of tabs open that I really want to discuss and probably rediscuss about some form factors here that needs to be said that is paralleling to what's happening. Alright? But that's already there. Other stuff that's already there too, like let's see, the videos that there's two Instagram videos I want to share that I have been following that is independent wise, and then there's this one individual that I have up we will get to later. He is very on point on what has been happening, wherever it may be. He's very, very good on citing on things that is happening, but also understanding of like why most of us who are Gen Z, like I'm Gen Z, this guy that I have been following recently is also Gen Z. And he is really on point on what's been happening as we speak. And I'm not gonna get to that just yet. All right. The first thing I want to mention before we get to the Middle East, how am I supposed to say this? This is just what the fuck just happened type of moment right now. All right. So first I want to get the other news stuff that needs to be out of the way, and it needs to be it needs to be informed, because this is what has been going on. This is what has been going on with the filming industry first. And I want to share that right now with my monitor here. And yes, there's going to be a lot of tabs open. I mean it seriously, okay? So once I put the monitor up, it's right there. Okay, so the first thing I want to talk about is the Warner Brothers being bought out between two companies, Netflix or Paramount. And there's a battle between one another who's going to own Warner Brothers. Like, oh, I'm going to get Warner Brothers. No, I will get in Warner Brothers. And as of early on within last month, but rather it's going to be 2 months, because we're about to be hitting into the next month, March of this year, of 2026. I thought for a second that Netflix is going to get Warner Brothers, but then all of a sudden, for no goddamn stupid reason, Paramount somehow won the bidding. And the reason why, thank goodness I don't have any subscription to watch Paramount Plus or anything like that, or association with the shit that's happening with what's going on with Paramount as a whole. And there's a lot of reasons, but this reason in particular I want to talk about is so exactly on the point. The reason why I don't trust Paramount is because of the person who's up in the CEO. And as you can see, one of these images, that's the guy I'm referring to, who wants to fucking phase out of like the enjoyment of what we watch, but instead what they're trying to do is trying to control on what we watch. Like, that to me is full on surveillance type of shit that nobody asked for. That's similar to one thing that we'll discuss in the next tab. But this is an upset, and honestly, this is the beginning of the downfall of Hollywood. and the film industry as we speak. Like the whole entirety of the big naming film industries, and we already know that the indie industry right now is like, okay, we're getting tired of this bullshit. We're gonna make our own films. Like think of Iolung with Markiplier. I still haven't seen it. Don't spoil it for me, but I still want to see that shit. Don't get me wrong. I still really want to see his work, what he has pulled off. What else? What else I would say before going on to the next tab? I would say, in my own personal opinion, this is bad. This is a bad news for film analysis content creators for this particular reason, because this is the most big upset, and some of the creators that I follow is like, oh man, like what the fuck, like this, what is this fucking corrupted Uno reverse out of nowhere, and it's so fucking stupid. Anyway, that's all I can say from this tab. That's all I can say from here. And also, I forgot to mention, if you guys are new within these live streams, especially these live streams out of nowhere type of emergency that needs to be discussed or not, the rules are in the description, and there are rules based on what I have here for the live streams. And again, be respectful to everyone in the chat. Be respectful to the moderators in the chat. Have common sense. Don't bring unnecessary behaviors in the chat. And this is the most important rule. If I'm making about a serious or good topic, that's what we're discussing here, about all these topics here. Please refrain from asking questions or comments about any topic until the topic is fully covered. The only thing you can do is react. You can like what the fuck, or like wow, that is very bizarre, or some shit like that. Those are the stuff that I would see mostly in the chat. But yeah, so I just wanted to clarify that before we get to the next topic. Next one is this. Deep Humor himself, I'll show his channel right here again, even though he's not relevant as much, but he is relevant to what is going on, talking about the AI verification shit. And as of recently, and I haven't heard this, I haven't watched this, but this is the title that he put out, calling this: the government is promoting, all captions, promoting, that's how titles work. The government is promoting age verification. So I'm gonna react to this, but I'm gonna let you guys hear it while I'm gonna be muted, and basically, watch this and think what you guys were able to think about this, okay? But again, make sure you save this until the very end, all right? So I'm about to be muted right now in 3, 2, 1, and the video is starting to play.
So the government has just gone out and proven that they only care about collecting the biometric data of everybody on the internet, because now the Federal Trade Commission, which is an actual government agency, is encouraging companies to adopt age verification technologies by announcing it will not enforce a children's online privacy law against certain websites that collect and use minors' personal data in order to verify their ages. They will not be punishing people for collecting the data of children as long as it's being done for age verification. Corruption at its finest. So a little bit of backstory here for those of you guys that don't know what the FTC is. They are an independent agency of the United States government whose principal mission is the enforcement of civil antitrust law and the promotion of consumer protection. For those of you guys who have been on YouTube for a while, you guys might remember them for being behind one of the most infamous updates in YouTube history, the Children's Online Privacy Protection Act, aka COPPA. So 6 years ago, which is crazy to say, some of you guys who are newer to YouTube might have missed this, but there was an update that YouTube made called the COPPA update. This was a huge update that all the bigger YouTubers were talking about, because this is what started the whole thing where YouTubers actually have to mark their videos as either made for kids or not made for kids. All these bigger YouTubers started talking about it. It became a huge deal on the internet, and a lot of people were actually making videos wondering if this is actually going to kill YouTube. From that date forward, in January of 2020, everybody, anytime they make a video, now has to go over here and mark their audience as either made for kids or not made for kids. Now, if you were to mark your audience incorrectly, let's say my video is full of blood and gore, but I mark it as, yes, it's made for kids anyways, the FTC was talking about fining people, including YouTubers, up to the tune of $40,000 for each violation. So every time you label a video wrong on YouTube, you could be fined up to $40,000. So they were a company that based their entire message around, oh, we're trying to save the kids. We're here to protect the kids. This is why we want to make sure you guys label your videos properly. And if you guys don't, we're going to take serious action against you guys. A YouTuber that was almost on the receiving end of this was Narmak. If you guys remember, we talked about Narmak recently, a very famous YouTube animator. He made a series called the
Okay, so I know I was muted on me saying, "Oh yeah." If you guys don't know who Narmak is, he's one of the animators that does this little fan-made animation called SpongeBob anime. I know that sounds weird saying that, but it's now normalized after it being after being seen by a lot of us. For some reason, he got claimed, or he got copyrighted claimed, or violated for the quote-unquote child safety policy, and it was a mistake from the freaking system of YouTube for that, and it's bullshit. And I can read it on you guys' end for you guys' own take of this. This is what he said right here. My SpongeBob anime episode 1 was taken down from YouTube. They tell me it was because I violated their quote-unquote child safety policy. It was marked as not for children. Now I have 2 strikes on my channel, which I am not aware of. 1 more strike and my YouTube channel is gone. Team YouTube, what the hell? And now I'm going to play the rest of the video.
SpongeBob SquarePants anime on YouTube, and his video was actually taken down because he did not mark his video as made for kids. He made a SpongeBob SquarePants anime that had a lot of blood and gore in it, so obviously he marked it as not made for kids. Obviously the video is not appropriate for children, but YouTube disagreed and they actually took Narmak's video down because they believed that it was made for kids. So this actually resulted in Narmak having the threat of getting fined $42,000 by the FTC. And so I say all this to say that the FTC is trying to play this whole thing of it's for the kids, it's for the kids. But now in a recent bullshit statement that they've made, now they're going to be saying that they will not be fining people who are doing age verification for collecting the information of children, all those Roblox selfies, all those IDs on Discord and everything like that. They're not going to be punishing those companies and those organizations because they claim that it's for the kids, and that's all done within right reason. I mean, like I said, this is corruption at its finest. One of their representatives or whatever actually made this crazy statement here saying age verification technologies are some of the most child protective technologies to emerge in decades. Our statement incentivizes operators to use those innovative tools, empowering parents to protect their children online. Yeah, definitely don't just take the phone away from them and do your job as a parent. Instead, they would prefer all these AI facial scans and ID verifications of literal children being handed over to these billion-dollar corporations. This line is so funny to me. Some of the most child protective technologies. Oh yeah, totally, right? Like when Discord got that freaking data breach and those 70,000 IDs were leaked, some of them belonging to children. Yeah, that definitely was really child protective. That really helped the kids out, right? Maybe they'll say, oh, those data leaks don't happen often. It doesn't happen in any other app that has done age verification. Okay, well, what about the T app? Remember when they got their freaking whole age verification thing leaked and a bunch of images, DMs, selfies, IDs, all of that were leaked and just put on the internet for anyone to see? They really need to get out of here with all that, oh, it's for the kids bullshit, because it's not. We already all know that that's bullshit. But I just find it hilarious and so hypocritical that the people behind the COPPA update, those same people who are trying to like take the high ground and say, you know, it's for the kids, now they don't want to find the companies that are doing age verification because they believe that is correct. That's right. Mass surveillance and collecting the information of little ass kids. Yep, that is totally a perfect way to protect those kiddies, right? They have a rule called the COPPA rule, which requires operators of commercial websites or online services directed to children under 13 and operators with actual knowledge they are collecting personal information from a child to provide notice of their information practices to parents and to obtain verifiable parental consent before collecting, using, or disclosing personal information collected from a child under 13. Interesting, right? So how come Persona, who was Discord's previous third-party vendor for age verification, how come they were exposed for sending all this type of information that they were getting to all these other, quote, trusted...
Okay, so let me show you exactly what he's talking about. It's this image. it's this image that he is referring to as we speak. When Persona literally got leaked. And this is exactly what's here. I am not making this up. That's how those three activist hackers, who are good hackers, by the way, not bad villain actors, hackers. My bad. What am I saying at this point? Like I said, this is exactly on why that a lot of us, including him, are, you get the gist. I'll say it at the very end, but I didn't mean to press the loading screen. But you get the point.
Third-party verifiable sources or whatever. Persona has already been exposed for sharing all this type of information with all like 300 plus platforms, 28 billion plus data points and all this type of stuff, and marking and flagging individuals for violent tendencies. How come the FTC and the COPPA rule or whatever the fuck they're called, how come they didn't step in for that? Look at all these Persona customers over here. OpenAI, Discord, LinkedIn, DoorDash, Etsy. Why is the FTC not launching investigations into Persona or all those companies that were working with Persona to make sure that they aren't collecting children's data and using them maliciously? All right, because they don't actually give a shit about the kids. They are in favor of all this data collection. They already know this is a sweet opportunity for them to collect all this biometric data, and they're going to use this whole "it's for the kids" bullshit tired ass argument that we've been hearing over the last few years or so. I am so fed up with all these companies or organizations trying to play this high ground thing of "it's for the kids." Frankly, I'm sick and tired of hearing that phrase because we already all know it's not for the kids, man. This is some bullshit. That really got under my skin because the FTC is sitting back and doing nothing with all these companies that are actually collecting biometric data and having them get, leaked all of a sudden, or they're actually willingly sharing them with other people, and they claim that they're doing everything to make sure that kids are safe on the platform. They say age verification can play a critical role in protecting children online and helping parents as they monitor their children's online activities.
We have got to the point where literally...
Man, why a fucking ad starts to fucking pop up? My lord, I'm just trying to share exactly what's happened within the video. Holy shit. Okay.
It's a problem. The parents aren't monitoring the kids' online activities. If they were, they would use the parental controls in their Apple iPhones. They would use parental controls in their routers and browsers to make sure that kids aren't visiting certain websites that they don't want them to go to. The parents are fucking lazy. They don't want to do their jobs. They want the government to hold their hand and walk them through parenthood. Is mass surveillance, collect everybody's information, watch what everybody does, put everybody on a list. These parents should be fucking ashamed of themselves for giving the government the encouragement to have these laws get passed, because it just keeps getting worse and worse every single day. Discord, Roblox, YouTube, Minecraft, Spotify, Apple. I mean, everything is just going to have age verification soon, and it's not slowing down anytime soon. And you would think the FTC would step in here and be like, hey, actually, this whole mass data collection of children to verify their identities and verify their ages or whatever, this actually isn't right. This is actually mass collection of children's data for pretty much no reason. Nope, the FTC is also going to be kissing the ass of age verification and kissing all these politicians' ass that are actually putting all these age verification laws forward, and give them a pass. I mean, it is just crazy, man. The FTC is not doing their job properly. And like I said, they've already been behind one of the most controversial updates in YouTube history. And also, I was looking through the FTC's stupid ass statement that they made over here, and I didn't see a single mention of how inaccurate age verification is. That is a huge point that should be talked about when we're talking about the AI facial scans of kids being collected and used to verify their ages. You guys have heard me talk about Creekcraft before, a YouTuber, a TikToker who is 29 years old now, actually, getting marked as 13 years old by TikTok's AI facial scans. Keep in mind, Creekcraft is a public figure. His age is public knowledge as well. The AI facial scan age check bullshit system that TikTok was using, and that a lot of these companies are using, actually, Discord, Roblox, all of them, those same sophisticated AI facial scan systems that are supposed to be super accurate, mark this 29-year-old man as a 13-year-old child. Those are the AI facial scans that we're going to have to be relying on to properly verify.
I want to point out, Creekcraft is actually Gen Z. Almost... actually, no. Zillennial. How about that? In between generation. Millennial and Gen Z. Zillennial. That's where he's between, okay? But yeah, as soon as I heard about that, let me tell you, man, he did not deserve that. Because we all know that he's a well-known Roblox content creator who is trying his best to get this entire bullshit that everybody is actually divided on trying to figure out, instead of coming together collectively I don't know why lately, as you've been seeing his thumbnails, I don't know why his thumbnails are now becoming as fucking slop. Especially his videos having the same thumbnail repetition, which nobody wants, which is wild to me. And don't get me wrong, I don't disrespect him by any means, but I would say this, like, he needs to mostly stop doing with the he needs to stop doing with the repetition of the thumbnail making instead of having that being the main focus. Instead of having that, it would be better if it was made more creatively. You know what I mean? Creativity still matters, you know? But either way, moving on.
Verify our ages. And there's actually so much data behind this. You guys have seen me show these figures so many times in so many different videos, but the freaking AI facial scans don't even work even when it comes to age estimation. Even getting you within 1 to 2 years of your age is actually usually wrong. 13-year-olds can be marked up as high as 17 to 18 and vice versa. It's not even doing its job in terms of properly marking people in their age range. And the AI facial scans are so easy to bypass anyways. So many people use video games like Death Stranding to bypass the AI facial scan. And yet for the people who are actually posting their pictures on Roblox because they want to play Roblox, and Roblox is just collecting those fucking photos of these children, who knows what they're doing with them, this would have been the time for the FTC to step in and actually do something. But instead, nope, they're just going to kiss Roblox ass. They're going to kiss all these companies' asses. We're against mass collection of children's data, except for when it's age verification. Then you guys get a pass. It's just blatant corruption, man. But yeah, now the government is basically just saying, yep, you know what? We're behind age verification. You guys can do whatever you want. We're not going to try to stop you. And yeah, it's just crazy right now, man. Let me know what your guys' thoughts are on the situation in the comments. The FTC is kissing.
Okay, so that is the end of the video. So, or the whole entirety of talking about and reacting to this. So, based on what he's saying, is still exactly why why the AI verification shit is still bullshit by any means, especially with the stuff that is happening outside of the AI verification shit that's happening in social media and the internet as a whole, because it's also happening throughout places that should never be happening in anywhere else, that Gen Z, our generation, does not fucking want. Okay, I don't know where the fuck did you go? You missed out the one video that I just started talking about, which is the latest video that Deep Humor just put out, which is the government is promoting, all captions, I don't know why, that's how thumbnail making works of the titles. The government is promoting age verification. I'm not gonna play it once again, but if you search up Deep Humor, it's gonna have the red text. That's super easy to find. And trust me, based on what he said, which I'll say what he was saying here, that the FTC, who rolled out and made COPPA in existence from 6 years ago, we're seeing what the heck is going on with the AI verification shit, and they're like, yeah, we honestly don't give a shit, because they're part of the government shit. And I knew this because they're bullshit. And the AI bullshit claim, like, oh, it's for the protecting of the quote-unquote kids. Bullshit. Bullshit to me. Bullshit to everyone else, too. But that's that. That's the end of what's going on there. And I already did talk about the Paramount buying of Warner Brothers, so that's already done and out of the way. The next thing now is very, very, very important. See? Presley gets it. Presley actually gets it. I've been here the whole time and I understand it. Alright. Moving on. So, the next thing I want to talk about is also very important. Okay? It is about the Middle East. Now, I have seen stuff within the searches based on the tabs that I just put up. Okay? And I am now aware of it. And the first thing I want to talk about is the United States bombed Iran, and I don't know if it's the exact images that's been happening, but this is what's happening right now on screen with the news sources that's happening, which honestly, it's better to have the independent news source to be set out. That's why there's a couple of people who are independent journalists who are now independent news sources that has the both understanding of multiple reasons why that this is happening. And this is what I remember I meant to say from hours ago. So this has been more than 12 hours ago. What is this? Oh, ground news. Yeah, that's what I've been seeing. That's what I've been seeing. And I see that, and I can see why that it's so good. I have seen other people talk about it, you know. That's one of them. From more than 12 hours ago, me and Lone were just getting ourselves prepared for this latest episode that we're going to pull out. That's supposed to happen today, but it's going to get delayed by tomorrow because I have to work on the editing of the video. And I have a clip that Lone just clipped on his side that would be funny as shit. I already have it downloaded, and it's going to be shown within the edited version of the video. As soon as we was trying to get that prepared, this literally happened. And a lot of human beings, doesn't matter what you think about it, are literally mad pissed, especially Gen Z. Alright? And not that long ago, the leader within Iran is gone, which is the most shocking thing I never seen before. And it just happened like what's that country within South America? Venezuela. It's similar, but that dude over there got captured. That's literally the most major difference. Okay. Alright, so yeah. With that being said, that's what literally was happening. And let me see. Yeah, so that's literally what's happening. And a lot of us are pissed. Like, human beings in general. Pissed. Including Gen Z are pissed about this. And not only that, it's I'm sorry to say this, but this is what I've been trying. I'm sorry to say this. A lot of us, doesn't matter if you disagree or agree on some people's points, but some of us have been knowing about this ever since, and we knew that this is gonna happen. Because a lot of us, especially Gen Z, including myself included, ever since I start being a lot more informed with the bullshit that's happening, it's starting to connect the dots with the Epstein shit, the AI verification shit, Palantir, Persona, our favorite apps trying to turn against us. All that other shit that I have seen is now starting to really connect on why the system of any government, any corporation for that matter, is all a blatant bullshit under the corrupted system based on what Deep Humor says. Corruption at its finest. And not only that Iran got bombed and the leader from there being eliminated out there, which again, that's mostly wild to me. I was checking one of the Discord servers and checking on one of one of my friends who is also in the Middle East, but not where Iran is. But it comes to my attention based on the next tab that I'm gonna go through. Is this. This. Okay, yeah. So, yeah. Okay. Yeah. So this right here. Dubai literally got bombed by Iran. That's literally an interception. AKA, quote-unquote, holding of one of the most tallest buildings in the world that I still want, that the city of itself, including the building itself, that I really still want to visit. Up to this day. This building, to be exact, I can't get a good fucking picture. There we go. This is what I am referring to. The tallest building in the world. The Burj Khalifa. That Zanit, one of my admin, one of my friends, is living in. And right now, I have no clue if he's okay. Because based on what I'm seeing within Discord on another server that I'm looking at, he's really freaking out. I'll say this, he does not know what the hell is going on with Iran, of the country itself, and the shit that's been happening with it, especially the corrupted government that we have. God damn. And I saw this and I'm like, oh shit, I need to check on him. And so far he has not responded since during his time 10:50 p.m. on his own time. So right now, from hours ago, it would have been 10:50 a.m. in our time right now as we speak, from a couple of hours ago. That's when it did happen. And a lot of the folks of the mutuals / friends of his is also worried about him too. So I put up the GIF of Kermit the Frog, like, hey, I'm worried about you. Are you okay? So I have, again, like I said, I have no fucking clue on when he's gonna be able to respond, but I'm hoping that I hope that he's okay. And I hope that nothing happens to him. Because if it does happen to him, I will be fucking pissed. Really fucking pissed. Because remember, I was the one who managed to figure out what's going on with his own situation that has happened months ago. Well, not months ago. Well, soon it's gonna be 3 months. Hold on a second. Hold on for a second, because I'm still checking things as we speak. Still checking what's going on. Okay. Again, back to what I was saying. I was the one who's trying to figure out what's going on with the Xanax situation of his own false allegations that's turned out to be false, and he's not a pedo. That's what I'm referring to, and this would be the last time. That would be the last time of me saying it, but ever since then, I stuck by him, by his side, because we all know that he is not like that. He's not a pedophile. We all know he's not. But seeing this is worrying about me. For me, worry about him, I meant to say, about this bullshit. You know? And this happening too. Like, this is wild. This is not what Gen Z wanted. I'm telling you. Most human beings, including Gen Z, does not want this to happen. And there's more. There's more stuff that I wanted to put out before any questions. Because I know some of you want to be in the streaming VC within my Discord server, but right now I just don't feel like doing it. Okay, maybe to the end of the live stream. I don't know. Okay, right now I just don't feel the time just to do that, but we'll see. We'll see. All right. The next thing I want to talk about, and I will switch up the screen here because I want to make sure this is what this okay, so see, I might, you know what, actually I might share only one person in particular that I keep on following on Instagram because he's actually independent. He's literally independent. His name is Devin, but he's under the name of this Instagram account, The United Now. And the reason why I want to show this is because of things that needs to be said, okay? And this is his own little caption that I see from his bio. Independent media platform dedicated to truth, transparency, and fighting against dystopian. Well, even though it's not what it says, but basically it's fascism, but I feel like it's more towards dystopian, because if that makes a lot more sense. Anyways, independent media platform dedicated to truth, transparency, and fighting against dystopian fascism or techno-fascism, doesn't matter what it is, or, you know, dystopian as a whole, through honest reporting. Quote unquote, united we stand, divided we fall. Anyway, so this is the guy that I always keep on checking for the most part, because there's this one video in particular that well, there's a lot of people that was talking about this based on the video of because this is from hours ago of the dumbass president that we have giving the talking points of basically what's happening with the bombing, essentially. And I want to make sure I get this right. So I wanted to stop the video real quick. I'll ignore the comments because comments can be I'll say this, every comment that you go through, every comment that you see within any of the shit that we see can be wild, all right? But I'm going to let this play. I'm going to let this man talk, and this is what he looks like, okay? And trust me, he's very good on reporting this shit as an independent news source, including a few others, okay? That just because, I'll say this is another thing, just because that they are those type of people who are in the independent sites of what they're trying to do doesn't mean they're like which is why I really fucking hated this phrase, and it's so fucking stupid now. The left versus right bullshit. I really fucking hate it now, because it's starting to basically getting out of hand. It's starting getting ridiculous because of the corrupted system of all governments, including ours, trying to divide us into factions that leads to a timeline which is kind of where it's at right now as we speak, to destroy the world. Yeah, that's all I can say here. But again, I don't want anybody else who is doing the reporting, especially with me, to be hurt by so much that's been happening. And I do get that some of y'all do end up worrying about me because of the shit I may end up saying or not, by all means. I do truly get that. I said this within the last live stream that I pointed it out, okay? But I'm gonna let him talk about this, and I'm gonna let him play the video. Holy shit, man. Anyways, I'm gonna let this play out.
Donald Trump said that U.S. troops may lose their lives and there may be casualties, but that's just what happens in war. Keep in mind, he's saying all of this after building an entire campaign on being the president of peace.
The lives of courageous American heroes may be lost and we may have casualties. That often happens in war. But we're doing this not for now, we're doing this for the future, and it is a noble mission.
One of the main talking points of Donald Trump's 2024 campaign was that Kamala Harris was going to send your sons to war, and we should vote for Trump because he's going to bring peace to the entire world overnight. Additionally, Donald Trump himself on numerous different occasions has criticized Obama, saying that he was going to attack Iran because of his inability to negotiate properly. Now he says that U.S. involvement in Iran is a great thing and it's going to help us in the future. But let's talk about what happened in the past when we went into the Middle East. It wasn't a quick and swift operation by any means. We were there for over 20 years and it cost us trillions of dollars. Thousands of U.S. service members lost their lives. Hundreds of thousands of civilians were killed, and there's still no regional stability. In 2001, the United States had a budget surplus under President Clinton, and we were expected to pay off our entire national debt within 10 to 12 years. But after the wars in Iraq and Afghanistan began under President Bush, the deficits returned, and our national debt began increasing sharply. So when Donald Trump talks about attacking Iran for our future, we have to ask, what future? One with more debt and more global instability?
That is pretty much the question that everybody's been talking about right now. What future? What is the future purpose of our lives, especially Gen Z, to be on this planet to deal with this kind of bullshit? Like, what the fuck do we do? What the fuck do we do to deserve this? Like, we didn't came here just to fucking, be out there, being in this freaking wars that nobody wanted to be in and nobody asked for. Like, what the hell? Like, this is something that nobody should be in right now as we speak. Like, honestly, everybody should now know that I'm not a person who wants to go into a war. I am not a person who wants that happening. No, that's people who, you get the jizz. It's like, what the hell? Like, this is not what all human beings want. And let's be very clear that people who have survived these types of wars for centuries, for thousands of years, have survived through hell beyond the point breaking of the corrupted system, the corrupted systems that has been evolving evilly so much. And a good example of that is the Book of Nights. I have talked about this before, but I have a little something that is very interesting. I did not know for a fact that Eli Wiesel himself, one of the Holocaust survivors, wrote 2 more books after the Book of Night, after I read that book, called Dawn and Day. I was trying to figure out what book this second book was, but now I know what it is. It's Dawn. Dawn is pretty much, oh my god. Dawn is pretty much somewhat a different story, or rather during the time before, right before, and right after World War II. And Day is pretty much the post of that, of the Holocaust and the World War II shit, And I am very interested of reading these books. And let's not forget that I have the 1984 book that I'm about to be reading very soon, because I did promise on reading this, that's connected with the AI verification shit, by the way. And remember where this all come from? Freaking UK, in real life, with the Online Safety Act bullshit. And where does this come from? Also in the UK within this book. Golly. And what else I want to say too? Based on what he's saying, this is exactly why researching is so fucking important, to understand what the heck's going on and figure out to not have the bullshit to bring up sides of left versus right. I'm getting tired of that shit. And there's reasons why. It's basically wasting my time. It's wasting I'll say most of everybody's time, it's not a good thing to be in, and it's basically tying with politics, which everybody should know. Politics is still bullshit by any means. Doesn't matter, it's left or right of the political spectrum or anything like that within that range. But again, it's oh Lord. Anyway, what the hell? Oh, I meant to. Okay. Okay, I accidentally pressed my keybinds for my Discord thing. Okay. So, with that in mind, let's not forget this too, that this is where it starts to really get interesting, because there's this one dude who I managed to find who's actually really speaking about facts, and I did say it at the very beginning of the live stream. He is also a Gen Z, but he's a lot much better than anyone that you can think of. All right, and it's none other of the name of I almost said Eli Weasel, of Alien Cosmo. That's just the name of his username. I don't know his real name or anything like that. But what he does is basically telling you that the system is broken. This corrupted system is so messed up. Soon one day, a full-on revolt might happen against the elites, against to what's happening, against to the baby boomers trying to ruin our lives, because they are the ones who did this, and they are the ones who come up with the dystopian shit, and a few others too. Not just within baby boomers, but there's outliers within every other generation, including some Gen Z as well. But with that in mind, think back with Nepal of its own process. All these people right here are mostly Gen Z, but they're also some of the millennials. And oh my god, there's a picture of a man who's wearing the Spider-Man. That's cool. Anyway, okay, hold on for a second. I got a message from my sister. Okay, my sister just texted me, and I just wanted to let her know what I'm doing. Anyway, but yeah, so this, like, think of this for a second. What we can learn from this is that they literally got so fucking tired of its own government, and the wildest thing that has ever happened is they've overthrown it, and they used Discord, the one gaming social app that everybody knows for such a long time, manages to build their own Discord server. But after seeing what Discord is doing, they'll probably be pissed about that too, alongside with others. But the best thing out of that, which I'll show his page, Alien Cosmo, again, he is speaking facts on so much that is happening, that is connecting the dots with the Epstein shit, with this, everything that I said is connecting to what's happening. And like I said, those elites, those 3,000 elites, and those dumbasses that keep on supporting the shit that they're doing, is a lot more smaller than you think. And let's not forget, remember that one image that I put up, which I might put this on frame in Deep Humor's thing. I might put this up real quick. Where is it? It has to be here. I know it has to be here. And it's not that long ago. And it was there. Is it right here? Nope. It's a little bit more further down. There it is. Right here. That's also connected too with the ID merit leaking so many IDs within 23 countries, including the United States, Canada, Mexico, Argentina, Brazil, Hong Kong, within China, Vietnam, and I have calculated that there is 746 IDs has been leaked. No, 746 million, my bad. That's a lot of IDs being leaked. And which is wild. This is mostly wild out of anything. But also, let's be very clear that the stuff that these people are doing is bullshit. And we need a reform of some type of something to basically stop this from happening ever again. Which is going to take a while, because this never-ending war, I'll call it the never-ending war, is not going to it's not going to stop until us as Gen Z starts to stand up for what's right. That's why a lot of us, including this guy, Alien Cosmo, which I might show it now, has been peacefully protesting and still talking about shit ever since from 10 years ago. 10 to 11 years ago. And I'll say this by all means, 2015 to 2016 are the last few years of when it's normal. Or quote unquote normal. I don't care what anybody say about, about that detailing. The one thing I would say is we will never go back to normal. We will never go back to normal by any means. And what I've been telling y'all is exactly what I keep on saying. But like I said, I am sorry to say this. Everything that I talk about here is exactly what human beings, normal average human beings, we've been trying to tell you since the very fucking beginning. And I know we don't have the right to say, I told you so, but still say it, I'll still say it either way. I told you so. Because this is stuff that nobody wanted, especially most of Gen Z. And it's like this is again, our lives has been screwed up so much due to this. The system, the governments that wanted to basically like, oh, we're just here to basically quote unquote protect the kids and trying to make everybody safe. Bullshit. Absolute bullshit. Absolute bullshit. Oh yeah, the Jim Jones story. I forgot about this. This is the story that I also wanted to share this too, because this is what my mom told me about this when she knows about it when she has her when she was in her young age, right before my brothers and sisters, my brothers and my sister were born. And this is about this man who had led a cult, fleed on over to Guyana, the country itself in Africa, and caused a lot of wreckage. And there is this one episode of a series that my mom wants me to watch within Netflix. I am very also interested in that. It's just I didn't have the time when I have the chance to watch or read this book or read or watch this or everything that's been that I want to make sure that needs to be set down. That's why I'm trying to re-educate myself with all this shit that I've been seeing that makes the most sense here, okay? Because, again, everything is all connected to... Okay, hold on. There is another one. There is another one. I might put this in the search. What is the freaking stupid Israeli government doing this time? Let's see. Okay. Oh, what the hell? Oh, there we go. Let me see. Oh, this is from before. This is old shit right here. But it's not tying in what's going on. So I do see this. That's the latest I see. And even freaking... I fucking hate this so much. This does not have to be here. But it's still kind of correcting to what's going on. Okay, yeah. So it's basically just... It's basically corresponding to what's going on here. What I've been saying. But like I said, like I've been telling you guys, and this is my own personal opinion overall, I don't think all of us are free. And why I'm thinking about that right now, think of this. I might put this up on my camera here, which is my Rubik's Cube. Okay? Think of when you're trying to solve a Rubik's Cube for the very first time. I know a lot of us are like still like, what the hell type of solve is that, when somebody manages to figure that out so quick. But think of as a Rubik's Cube, right? And what you have here is you're trying to figure out as a human being on what the heck is going on in the world that is so messed up, okay? And think of this. You figure out one piece. I'll put orange right here. So orange is right there for the cross. I know the lighting is so bad, but if I put it up very close. There it is, right here. Just like that, right? Then I need to find other pieces to figure out what's really going on with this solve that's relating to what's happening right now as this week. So if I manage to put in white and blue, it needs to be flipped. And place it onto its blue center right here. I know orange is in the wrong spot too, which I need to make sure it's there too. And then, wrong side. Boom. See, there we go. So now I got the two cross pieces for my cross of the white side. And then, red. Figure that piece out as well. And then green. And there's the cross. So these are the first few pieces that a human being starts to figure out what the hell is going on with our world. That is the cross. The white cross that's been solved on a 3x3. The next thing that people might figure out to do is this. How would I figure out if this is true or not? This first step is figuring out the basics. Next is research. Based on what I'm seeing here, I see the F12 case. Okay, I managed to take that out. Let's see. Right here. There we go. Boom. F12 and corner pairing. Do this. Wait, no. Actually, it's better if I do this, do that, put this back. Put it out, put this back. There you go. Another F2L case. And then orange. And then boom. There you go. So that right there, F2L and the corners are now solved. And that is research. Doesn't matter how long it takes of a research will be. That's how much is completed. Then lastly is figure out the major issue. Figuring out the major solution on how to defeat the elites, to defeat people who keeps on defending this diabolical shit. And it's like this. 1, 2. Pull the top cross pieces done. And I do see that this is now... Well, hold on. Actually... do this the normal way. Okay, yeah. So then put this in JPerm. That's the algorithm. And now I got this. This is now very easy to me. All I need to do is like the normal way I do with the corners. It's super easy. But anyway, right here is the final step. Reform. All you need to do, if it's beginner method, it's this. But I'm not going to do that here. Instead, based on what I figured out, is take one piece and take them out. So, like this. And then boom. That right there, the reform of defeating those motherfuckers, is out of the way. And that right there is the plan on what Gen Z is trying to do. Again, their own goal right now, as we speak, including everybody else, is still continuing peacefully protesting against what's going on. Alright? But if anybody mess with us with a major balloon poke, that's when the revolt might happen. Everybody would say that revolts aren't relevant anymore, but no, it's still relevant. Again, based on the Nepal protests that has happened recently. It's still happening, by the way. It's just that we need to give them, all of us, we need to give them, all these elites, these corporations, all the other shit that we keep on seeing that are trying to twist up the narrative. The 1789 France. And I learned this from history, by the way. Doesn't matter if it's in video form or it's within school, but I have managed to learn this in depth on how it works. That right there is the key on how Nepal managed to do it on their own turf. That's their own version of 1789 France. That has happened within last year. This, what I showed you, is basically solving like a 3x3, but a larger scale with this example. Okay, I think that's it. I think I don't have anything else to say. I think I got mostly everything covered. But like I said, I hope, fingers crossed, that Xanad's okay. I hope, the doubt, that he's okay. But once I have the chance, I will try to talk with him. Now, is there any... Now, since we're at the very end now, is there any questions? Is there anything you want to say before I start to close out? Because I feel like originally I was thinking of going into the streaming VC to give you guys the chance to say what you have to say, but I don't think I don't have the time to do it. It's better, okay? It's better you answer it here. I think it's better for me to answer it here instead of within the streaming VC. I think it's better in the doubt. But this is exactly, again, think of this. And this time I might actually do this a little bit faster. Yeah, you can say it in text. You could say it in text in here. So that way it's said. Can't say it in text. Okay, but then DM me on Discord, and then I can able to read it out, alright? But I'm gonna show this again. Let me close my eyes for this one. Okay, there we go. All right. But I do not have the time to do that right now, Lone. It's much better if you explain it in text than rather doing it within the streaming VC. Because again, I don't have the time to basically put it myself in the streaming VC as we speak. Because again, there's a lot of shit that I said is exactly like solving the 3x3. Okay, let me see. Where Trump said that there were deaf was a dumb thing to say, but with stuff like this, and to be fair, let me start solving this again. Might as well try to put this as a time solve. Let me reopen my YouTube and go back to my main so I can switch it. Okay, let me time solve this and show you guys my 3x3 skills. If I can. There we go. Okay. Okay, so now I see where this is coming from. Wait, put you up there, put you down here, blue here, put green, that. Okay, put you here, red, do that. This, do that, J-perm, okay, so then, put in, take out, 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 put in, take out. Oh shit, wait. Oh, not a bad solve. 1 minute and 15 seconds. Okay. Okay. Where Trump said that there would be deaf was a dumb thing to say, but with stuff like this, and to be fair, Iran's leader were poking a bear. This was expected to happen, and to what I know, I've seen and heard of many American military and civilians deaf. Yeah, that's what everybody has been saying too. Doesn't matter what part of the spectrum it is. But again, this is the stuff that nobody should be wanting this, especially Gen Z. Like most of Gen Z, like if you think of anybody from 1997 to 2012, early Gen Z versus late Gen Z, which is kind of a bullshit war of who is the better version of Gen Z. I would say in general, including the between ones, the Zillennial and Gen Alpha, they are starting to understand that we are starting to be a lot more informed to what's happening. That's what I've been seeing from when Venezuela celebrated their shit. And that's all. That's up to their own credibility to do something now. But again, like I said, doesn't matter what you think of what government that is being followed or being changed or anything that matters. What matters here, it's up to their own interpretation to change their shit. It's not the other government's job to do so. It's not the other government's job to do so. Okay, let me see. The talks. Trump did try to talk with Iran's leaders. Okay. Oh, there goes my headphones. Hold on. Yeah, I think that's it. Let's see. They refused to talk, and they were sending propaganda and saying death to America. Well, United States of America, and burning our flag. Okay. But remember, it's themselves who is literally not anybody's side. They are the ones who tries to disrespect, doesn't matter what country it is, disrespecting any flag that goes to a constitution or goes to the system that is already built is messed up. It's still messed up up to this day, which I agree. But again, it's much better. And like I said, if Gen Z gets poked, and I'll say this, if Gen Z gets poked like this, like a corner twist, that's what I meant to do. Oh my god, I really fucking hate this so much. Again, like I said, Gen Z can actually revolt, and we have seen that within Nepal. We have seen that before. And we have seen this multiple times before within the history that we see, especially the videos. It's just that the blueprints is already there. Like I said, based on this guy right here. He is speaking facts on what's going on here. And you see, this is where it gets interesting. This is where it gets interesting. The reason why Gen Z is so split is because of the left versus right bullshit. And most of us have realized, including myself, has realized for the fact that it's now becoming literally more bullshit than ever than it has been from 10 years ago. Which is why that so many content creators and so many celebrities do not condone any new wars. They do not like new wars. And nobody doesn't want any war with anybody in particular. That's basically in the middle of a fist fight over your siblings. Like, I get, like, this is where I'm coming from. When it comes down to me, between me and my second older brother Richard, I still don't like the way how his attitude is. He's somewhat self-absorbed of most things, but yet he's still my brother no matter what. Like seriously, he's still my brother no matter what. And based on what I heard, what he's trying to do, he was about to try, if my dad was trying to mess with his stuff again. Because remember, my dad's memory is still fogged up where it's not there chronologically. he really wants to punch dad, and I'm like, no, you cannot be doing that, because if you do that, I will instantly call 911. And me and my mom had talked about this too, on one-on-one conversation about that, and Richard knows that you should not supposed to be doing that, and he should know his actions. But yet again, like, why would you do that? Like, it happened before, but it should not happen again. Or any sibling or any family member that I have in line with issues that is okay, let me see this real quick. And with Trump saying the president of peace is a little off, as yes, he has stopped wars, but wars are going to happen no matter what he does. He didn't stop any wars. I'm sorry to say that, but he didn't stop any wars. Like, that's what everybody keeps on saying, and to my own opinion, it's bullshit. Let me see. It's like the UN. The UN can stop wars, but they cannot stop wars from happening. No, like, see, this is another thing that what really makes me so pissed off is this is exactly what I'm trying to say. The left versus right bullshit that you keep on pulling up is still bullshit by any means, because of the affiliation of what he's doing is unconstitutional. Everything that he does is unconstitutional, especially with the tariffs. And everybody knew, including most of Gen Z, who is very informed what's going on, is bullshit. It's literally bullshit. And I'm telling you, like, if you give the time to see what videos, what people are saying, and try to come up with what ways to figure out what's happening, like I said, based on with the fucking, let me do this again. Do this, do that, do this, do that, do this, and do that. I think hold on, let me see. Hold on. Should be, it's okay, so it's, okay, there we go, see? It's like this. Figure out what the heck is going on with the algorithm that you just did to figure out what's going on with, to figure out what's going on a more larger scale. I think I might try to do this. Blue is now solved, so then I'll do the end moves again. There you go, see? That's how, this is another thing that so many of baby boomers keep on trying to claim this, and this is why I said this in my last few previous live streams. The audacity of everything. Baby boomers keep on thinking that us, including other generations after them, saying like, oh, we're fucking quote unquote lazy, oh, we can't seem to push our limits, or other shit that they keep on saying is bullshit. And with the companies that were trying to like lay off the work because of AI shit, with the AI shit, and trying to hire some new people, is actually bullshit. And what I have found is called ghost jobs. Let me search that up real quick before I start to head off. Ghost jobs. What is ghost jobs? Okay, so this is what because this is what it says when I search it up. Ghost jobs are fake slash not slash jobs. Oh my god, I can't speak. Shit. Hold on. Ghost jobs are fake or inactive job listings posted by companies that have no imminent intention of hiring, affecting roughly 1 in 5 to 1 in 4 jobs ads in the U.S. alone, driven by the desire to appear to a growing rate, create. What the hell is this broken English here? Anyways, create a pipeline of talent or placate overworked staff. These postings are often used to gouge the market. They contribute to significant job hunt fatigue and are to physically inflate employment statistics. Okay. But my own definition about that is basically so with ghost jobs, my definition about it is that they're trying to basically hire people to be in those job positions, but they're not because of the AI stuff. That's really the definition of what's going on here, of trying to keep out us from being in the workforce, keeping us out for jobs that we wanted to work in. And what I've been telling Presley about is keep on bugging these jobs until they actually until they answer your actual application. And the tactic that I get from my mom is the same tactic that she used when she was in her younger years. And with that, it works all the dang time. But nowadays it's now 50-50 to close to 25% because of the ghost job bullshit that these companies are trying to pull off. Let's see, so and again, this is another thing that I keep on telling you. Based on what I said from the very beginning, why do you think I'm starting to get tired of the left versus right bullshit? Doesn't matter what you think of. Doesn't matter if it's from a movie, TV show, books, videos, all the other shit that we have seen so much. Why do you think I do not care about the left versus right bullshit? It's still bullshit. And having the thing with it so much is getting tired. It's getting me so fucking tired of that shit, dude. But the thing here is what these tactics that the elites are trying to do is trying to twist up the narrative of what the fuck is going on to keep us divided, to have the left versus right bullshit. Again, it's from them who keeps on amping up that shit. And we're getting tired of it. Simple as that. And I understand. I understand. Every president has done their own parts. But is it related to some things that is happening right now? Maybe. Mostly not. But again, this is why that Gen Z has been waiting, and this is another thing that Gen Z wants to wait for and have the chance to basically do the revolt that everybody has been thinking about, is letting the whole entirety of this whole entire corrupted system to collapse. That means I'm talking about every single government. That also includes the United States government, the Israeli government, the Iranian government, and even other governments around the world. That's why, as you saw from Nepal, Gen Z from over there literally took it down, changed it up what it is, used Discord out of all apps to make a server for them to have, and it is wild. And that is the most effective way that they did it. And that right there is their own version of the 1789 France. Simple as that. Simple as that. What else? Let me see. It's like this. First step of a J-perm. To get it into the J-perm state. And then the second step is do the exact same step. Boom. This is super acknowledgeable with the 3x3 comparison of so much shit that is paralleling of what's happening. And like I said, the reason why that most of us are informed and starting to understand shit that we couldn't able to solve, and the reason why I'm one of those type of people that has not able to solve a Rubik's Cube throughout my entire childhood in comparison, is the way how it moves. Like, I always move my fucking hand as a wrist turn. The official Rubik's Cube brand sucked because it has the ball core. This right here is a spider core. Like that. And people has managed to figure out how to make cubing from other companies to get it the cubing that we see today of speed cubing and time solves and all other shit that we see. And I'm comparing this, like I said, I'm comparing this to what has been happening right now as we speak. And like I said, this is why that a lot of us are so getting tired of and listening to pretty much every single government, every single corporation in general. Because we're not, basically Gen Z themselves said this, we're not following that shit. We're not following that shit. And I'm not following that shit because of what has happened with the AI verification shit with Roblox. And there's reasons why that I'm no longer on that because of that bullshit. Especially what's going on with every other app that's trying to amp up with the AI verification shit and keep online the full-on narrative. And remember, these same elites, the same billionaires, the same evil motherfuckers are the same people who are pedophiles, who are the same people who are bullies from back in the day. Simple as that. And all they wanted to do is to get rid of everybody across from the entire planet. Doesn't matter what it is. But all that matters here, they want every single human being that doesn't like their stuff, what they're doing, and what they're trying to end up doing is trying to eliminate so much of people that wanted to amp up so much of violence. So much so to basically have somebody that we know for a long time, doesn't matter who it is that you think of, being dead on the spot without knowing. That's why, like I said, that's why I'm very worried about people who aren't the area that we are in, that I always keep in touch with, of contact-wise. But it's not just here, of the area that we are in, it's everywhere else. To keep everybody in contact and make sure everybody is okay. That's literally it. That's literally right then and there. That's why I get it. I get why a lot of y'all, especially some that knows me for a longer time, still worries about me of the stuff that I say and the stuff that I want to give off of my own chest. But again, based on the shit that's starting to flip the narrative now of the bullshit that we've seen, is now paralleling so much of the stuff, especially with the AI verification shit with this book right here. And after this live stream, I'm about to start reading this. I'm just about to start reading the 1984 book first. Any sort of who, I think that's it. I'm actually gonna be done. I'm actually done with the overall talk here. I'm about to head on out, and I'm about to be taking a break off of live streaming, but also, or for the live stream for a little bit, but also trying to get things back on track. And like I said from the very beginning of the live stream, the episode of Gaming Revelations would not be coming out tonight. It might come out within tomorrow because due to what's been going on, that I really wish that I was not planning to make this live stream, but I had to do it either way to understand, like, hey, the left versus the right bullshit, especially with the other things that we see, is all bullshit. And like I said, I'm still gonna keep on protesting peacefully as best as I can, unless somebody tries to poke one of anybody that we know who's fighting for what's right. Again, this never-ending war of against the elites. Because remember this: there's a lot more people than you think. There's 8 billion of us. But I'll say this to equal this out: it's actually 7.5 billion against the outliers defending this shit, especially the elites. Simple as that. Other than that, I think I'm done from here. Like I said, the next episode of Gaming Revelations will end up popping up tomorrow, and hopefully I have some good ideas on how the editing would work for who knows how long. Other than that, I think that's it for me. I think that's it for this live stream, and hopefully, fingers crossed that Zen is okay. Hopefully, for fingers crossed that everybody else is okay. And that is all I can say from here. And as always, and I'll say this again, as always, stay fresh, stay safe, watch your surroundings, be informed. Now I'm going to say this: be informed and stay educated, ladies and gentlemen. And as always, have a great night and day to those around the world.